Hello everyone, Madison here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video I will be talking to you guys about MPLQ. This is more of a practical based, like the pool practical based video, because I had someone named Ella who got in contact with me and asked me a few questions about it. So I responded to her and over messages, and I thought I'll elaborate for you, and I'll just, because some of her questions might be the same as someone else's questions but they don't want to ask, if that makes sense. So thank you for getting in contact with me and I'll happily answer all the questions that I can do. So what did I have to do for the pool practical? So it's things like time swims, vice grips, that linking with spinal injuries, different types of water rescues such as reach, wade, defence, rescue boards coming with spine. So with the vice grip and rescue boards, so the vice grip would be from the deep end. So you'd have someone in the deep end treading water until, obviously not in an actual real case scenario, but for the exam, and to sensibly you'd get in and you'd say whistle, 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 lifeguard getting in spinal injury. Spinal injury is like that, to indicate, and you'd slide in, just because if you jump in then it could cause more damage. And then this is where the rescue board can come in too, because then with the vice grip you'd put her hand there, put her hand on the back of the head, obviously in better positioning, and then you'd flip them over and then you'd tow them back down to the other end where there would be people waiting with a rescue board, just so then it's a little bit more easier. And then again with the rescue board, there will be one person holding the rescue board, everyone else has got to put their arms like that underneath the casualty, so then your arms can't move that way. If you had your arms like that, they'd bend up. So, well, they can sort of go like that, but not as easy as that, if that makes sense. So they're less, if you have them that way, they're less likely to bend. If you have them palm facing up, they're more likely to bend. So make sure your arms are like that. So the wade in rescue, reach in rescue, are most commonly done with shallow end work, and so the reach, throw and wade are all done with a torpedo buoy. So the reach, you stand on the side and you reach the torpedo buoy down to the casualty and pull them in. The throw, so the torpedo buoy has like this harness. You hold the harness and you throw the torpedo buoy in. Casualty holds the torpedo buoy, you pull them back in. And then the wade, you get in to save them. They put their arms around your shoulder, and I think you give them the torpedo buoy. I'm not too sure on that one, but yeah, with the time swims, they are 65 seconds and 45 second swims, and the 65 second swim is done with the torpedo buoy. The 45 seconds one is just a tow with your hand like that on the casualty's chin. It's so another question is, I watched a lot of videos on that. It's mainly the time swims which scare me, is it just a 45-second and 45 seconds one? Yes, it's just those 2 time swims. Again, I'll get more in depth on those swims in a minute. Are they like relatively easy? They seem easy until you get to the real thing. That's when the nerves start kicking in. Like, so when I'd done the week of my training, I was like, oh yeah, this is easy. But when it's the actual real thing, so it was the day before the real thing, so we went through everything like we would on the exam day, and everything went fine. It was just the time swims that screwed me over. And then, so I didn't actually take the assessment, because on the day of the assessment, I got there and my anxiety hit sky high. I was so done. I was like, I can't do this. And I had a little moment to myself in the changing rooms, went to the toilet and led on from there. You can probably guess what happened. And it was my mum's birthday, and that just made me even more anxious and sick. But yeah, they seem easy until the actual thing. Like, the time swims are the most worrying thing for most people, so it's fine to be worried about time swims. And like on the second one, so this was the second time I was allowed to do the assessment. The first time I actually took it, if that makes sense. I was with like the person who coached me to do the actual lifeguards training. I was with a swimming teacher and a receptionist and a personal trainer, and so everyone in that sports centre needed to complete the MPLQ, just in case like they needed to switch on and be a lifeguard. So I was doing the assessment with them, and what scared me the most is when I was up with the person I'd done the assessment with. That was the scariest part. Like, I knew I had time swims. Like, on the scariness level, time swims were here, but doing time swims against the guy who trained me, scariness level up here. Like, I wanted to prove to him that I can do it. So if you put your mind to the time swims, then you'll do it. And so the first time I took the assessment, so this was with the week, I was about 20 seconds off both time swims. 3 months later, I get both time swims down by a good 15-16 seconds, 4 seconds off both time swims. And yeah, they were like, oh yeah, 4 seconds off, we can't let you have your MPLQ. But it just goes to show that if you put your mind to anything is achievable. Are they very strict on time and then even a few seconds? So when I was 4 seconds over, again, they were very strict, but if you fall 65 seconds or 45 seconds or under, like, yeah, so if you fall on the first time swim, if you fall 65 seconds or lower, you're fine. If you fall on the second time swim, if you fall under 45 seconds or lower, I think you're fine. Maybe like 1 or 2 seconds over, then they're very strict. So as an overall suggestion, because Ella's also mentioned that she's going swimming on a Wednesday. As a suggestion for everyone who's doing MPLQ and their MPLQ is in like a few weeks, few months or whatever, start training to swim ASAP. But as another suggestion, wear obviously like swimming costume or swimming shorts, and if you're wearing a swimming costume, wear a t-shirt and shorts over it. If you're obviously wearing swimming trunks, put a t-shirt on, so then you get a feel for what it actually is on the day. And so I wear a swim tag that times me on how quickly I do lengths. So if I do a length in 20 seconds, then I know that I need to narrow it down as much as I can. So she's also asked, is that the stuff that I have to wear? My answer was yes, just a shorts and t-shirt over a swim costume. I'll also make sure that they aren't heavy duty clothes. So I got my shorts from Sports Direct, and they're like these blue shorts with sort of like mesh underneath it, like a mesh lining. So they're not heavy duty, they're like they're sort of like netball shorts, if that makes sense. And I think I got it in my wardrobe. Give me a second. And I found them. So they're these ones. I know they're like very small and I'm like very big. But they're these types of ones with the mesh lining. Because they're not as heavy duty, as you can probably tell. So they don't need to be matching t-shirts and shorts either. Like, I'm not matching, I'll prove to you. I've got a green t-shirt and blue shorts. They clash. They don't need to be matching. And what I'll also suggest is that when you're training to swim, grab yourself one of these. These can, like, you know, be used as a float, so you can work on, like, you know, hold it out in front of you, work on the arms. This can also be held out in front of you so you can train your legs. They can also be put in between your legs so you can work on your front crawl. But yeah. A bit of the theory now. So what's the assessments in the theory like? So I personally think section 2 is the easiest. There's only about 8 or 10 questions on it. Section 1 is like, it's alright. Section 3 I think is the hardest, but that's personally me. So yeah. I was going to draw something. So the majority of the questions and answers are in the lifeguard manual. So just read the manual as carefully as you can. Are they multiple choice or written? So they are multiple choice. You get 2 sheets of paper, a question sheet, and your like answer sheet. So with the answers, for example, you'll get 1 answer sheet for section 1, 1 answer sheet for section 2, 1 answer sheet for section 3. So with like question 1, it could have 3 options. on the question sheet, A, B or C, and then on the answer sheet it would say it. So I don't know why I'm turning that way. It could have number 1, A, B, C, and you circle the answer like that you think, if that makes sense. I know I should have drawn it on a piece of paper, but when I'm making a video about the theory, I will definitely do that. Okay, so they're most likely common sense question. Most of them in your manual, and most of them you can rule out the answers. So it's sort of general knowledge and a lot of brain power and a lot of common sense. Like, for instance, question could be, in the changing rooms there's slippery surfaces. What do you have to make sure you do? Run, walk or swim? Well, it's a changing room. You're not going to swim in a changing room. And it's wet floor, so you're not going to run. Oh, it must have to be walking. So like that. So what type of swims do you have to do for the time swims? Is it front crawl? And if it is, do we have to do the professional type where your head goes in the water? So I done front crawl in the actual thing. I've done front crawl to the casualty, and then I towed them back. But with the torpedo buoy in the 65-second swim, I front crawled all the way there. I've given them the torpedo buoy, but they won't be facing you. You'll have to be like, excuse me, can you take this? And then they would take it. Ask them to lie on their back, they'll be more streamlined. And you can either unclip it, hold it and tow, or you can keep it clipped over you and then you can front crawl back. The reason why I say front crawl is because then you're more streamlined. And therefore, because you're more streamlined, then you'll get there faster. But for the 45-second swim, you can front crawl to them, and you have no choice other than to tow them back because you have no torpedo buoy. I already answered that question. So she's also mentioned that she can swim 25 metres in 24 seconds with her head out the water. As long as you can swim to the casualty and back in under 65 seconds and 45 seconds, you should be completely fine. That's all they're looking for, is if you can actually complete the time swims in the allocated time. But yeah, I also got another question saying, are you able to wear glasses and still do the course and qualify? So I haven't been able to check, but I'm presuming you are, because I know that if you mention to them, oh yeah, I have glasses and all that, as long as see, I can't even say wear contact lenses because I don't know how contact lenses work and all that. But if you just mention to them that you have glasses, because I know that the receptionist I trained with, she had glasses for reading and all that. Every time I went into the gym, she'd be having her glasses on. So I think it's okay. Just, again, ask them questions and do what I explained earlier in the video, and then you should be fine. So, And that's it for today's video. Thank you to the 2 people that have messaged me asking me questions, because evidently I got a video out of it to further on explain those questions and explain it to you guys. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. You guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I shall catch you later. Bye!